The Mississippi MUDDS of Carleton Place are a local theater company founded in 1973 by Jan Ferguson. Over the course of their 50-year history, the MUDDS have put on over 120 performances, consisting of locally written and published plays, musicals, variety shows, English pantomimes, Shakespearean pieces, murder mysteries, children's performances, and more. Their mission is to share a love and appreciation for the performing arts with the Carleton Place community, with an emphasis on inclusion. According to Jan, the formation of the group was a result of an idea she had while watching a variety show fundraiser.
I was a member of the Ladies Auxiliary to the Chamber of Commerce. They would have to raise funds. And one of the fundraisers was this variety show at the high school, which Mary and I went to. And I'm sitting there watching this almost like a vaudeville thing, thinking, I said to Mary, we could do that here. And, performing wasn't high on my list of things to do, but this I could do. And she said, well, just go and speak to them. Oh, no, I can't do that. I basically very shy. Still shy, but you know how to cover it up. So Mary takes me by the hand and drags me backstage and says, here's Mr. Dan Darling. Here's Mr. Darling. Hello, Mr. Darling. What can I do for you? Well, Janet was just saying that we could do this in Carleton Place. And Dan said, well, you get me the people, I'll get you the show. And that was the key phrase.
The MUDDS began their history performing variety shows under their original name, the Mississippi MUDDS, MUDS, which stood for Music, Dance, and Song. But they later became the Mississippi MUDDS, Music, Dance, and Drama on Stage. Jan wanted the group to have a name that represented what they did as well as where they were from.
I can remember sitting at the kitchen table and trying to think what will we call ourselves. What have we got? We got Findley's, and we got a river. And I wanted a theme song. Yeah, well, I had a songbook that had the original Mississippi Mud song. And there is, the Mississippi Mud song. You can Google it. And it has one D. So I tweaked a couple of words, not very much, in it. And I thought, this suits us perfectly. We stomp our feet and the people sing along, and that was good. So that was the Mississippi MUDDS music. And so then I had to make the acronym work. It's like calling the cart before the horse. But nothing's impossible. So it was music, that was the MU, dance, and song. That's what it was. Music, dance, and song. Very simple. That worked for a while. And then we started doing plays. And we were doing the Constitution, and became music, dance, drama on stage. So it just evolved as we evolved, basically.
Their first performance in November of 1973 was entitled Songs from the Attic and included music from the 1920s through 40s. The show was performed at the Carleton Place High School and was a success.
But the town loved it. We had to do it again and again. And then Perth called, and Smith Falls called, and Almont called, and it was was truly extraordinary that people, because there just hadn't been anything like that in the valley.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no one was doing it. And then our cast got bigger and bigger, and our demands were greater and greater.
Yeah.
We would get paid $1,500, either $1,200 or $1,500 by, say, the Lions Club of Smith Falls. They would hire us, and we would go and put on the show, which meant then that we had to carry everything. We eventually bought a bus and renovated the bus to carry these sets that we were now creating.
In 1978, the MUDDS were given a plaque from the town of Carleton Place, which recognized the group for their outstanding contribution to the performing arts in the region. But eventually, consequences of being on the road were causing problems for the MUDDS.
Unbeknownst to me, there were shenanigans out back until the MUDDS were getting a bad name. Don't let your kid get involved with the MUDDS. You know, that sort of thing. And we were running ragged. We were Friday night and Saturday night. I mean, it was not marriage bliss for sure with them. So at 2 or 3 in the morning, we were getting home. It's getting out of hand. And I finally said, we have to stop. We're just burned out.
As a result, the group went on a 4-year hiatus in 1980. During this time, it was decided that the MUDDS would no longer tour and would focus their efforts instead within the immediate community.
I said, no more travel. Town hall's where it is. We don't go anywhere.
The MUDDS continued to produce original shows throughout their history, but they moved towards more published works in the late 1980s. The first published musical put on by the MUDDS was Operetta by Jack Sharkey and Dave Reiser.
The town hall booted us out for a bit because we were a fire hazard.
During their production of the English pantomime Aladdin in 1990, it was discovered that the Town Hall Auditorium did not meet safety codes. After the production ended, the auditorium was closed indefinitely. As a result, the MUDDS were required to find new locations for their future productions. During these years, the MUDDS performed in many local venues, including the Carleton Place Public High School Gym, the Carleton Place Canoe Club, and St. Mary's Catholic Elementary School. In 1995, the Town Hall Auditorium was reopened, and the MUDDS were able to return to their home venue for their performance of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol that November. In February 1999, the group celebrated their 25th anniversary in the Town Hall Auditorium. The night featured dinner, speeches, performances, song, and costumes from past productions. In 2008, the youth branch of the MUDDS was officially founded, and their first production went up in February of 2009. While an earlier children's production connected to the MUDDS went up about a year prior, Bugsy Malone Jr., directed by Kate Osborne, was the first full production that was officially produced under the Mississippi MUDDS name. Since this time, this branch of the group produces at least one performance each year in the group's February time slot. Today, the MUDDS are still an active part of the Carleton Place community. Over the last 15 years, the MUDDS have put on over 40 productions, hosted events and fundraisers, and worked with the local community. In 2015, a mural was created across from the town hall to commemorate the Mississippi MUDDS' impact within the Carleton Place community. In 2020, the MUDDS production of Mamma Mia was postponed due to COVID-19 restrictions. As a result of the pandemic, Frozen Jr., put on by the MUDDS youth in February 2020, was the last full live production the MUDDS have been able to share with the public. The MUDDS are currently in the process of producing Elf the Musical, which is slated to go up at the end of this year. Until that time, they are continuing to reconnect with the Carleton Place community in person and finding additional ways to celebrate their 50 years of history. If you'd like to learn more about the Mississippi MUDDS, our summer exhibit, Spotlight on the MUDDS, is still open for one more week. closing on September 3rd, 2022.